he ain't around and he don't call. Okay, then you call. Your mom, that I can, y'all. I still remember my grandmama's first phone number, 2963-111. And then the next one was 296-6521. Like literally, them numbers will be embedded in my in my head and all my cousins' head for the rest of our lives. No matter what numbers we get, we remember our granny's number because it stayed the same. And believe me, your grandmama, your mama, his grandmama, the same way, because they were from the same era. And she still live in that same house, the neighborhood. If they don't, if they decided to move, everybody in that old neighborhood know where they at, and all you got to do is go to the neighbor because they remember you, and ask, do you know where Mama such and such is, and they will tell you, and they will give you the number because they know and they see that the kid needs both parents. But they're not gonna get involved because it's none of their business. I understand that. But, this is my podcast, so I can talk about whatever I want to. And y'all know I love you and I want the best for you. And I'm just really tired of seeing kids, grow up deprived of having both sides. Like I said, missing out on events and families and cousins. And, I got so many cousins, I don't even know them. They had proms, they had birthday parties, I missed all of that, right? But one thing I will give my mom is the fact that she never, ever talked me against my father. Never, never, ever, ever did she ever. Her saying, and I'm going to end with this because I don't know, I may keep going. This is special. It's the holidays and it's my podcast. I could talk as long as I want. She never talked me against him, and she always said, you are a smart girl. That's one thing my mom complimented me, y'all. Wow, I never thought about it like that. Finally. She was not very complimentary, y'all. But she said, you are a smart girl, you're a smart kid, and you will grow up and you will learn for yourself. Now, whether or not that was an underhanded jab at him, now that I think about it. But she was right. I grew up and I saw for what it was. But because she did not, now this is my point. Because I did not have anything in me other than love for both of my parents. Because my mama never put any other belief in me against my father. Well, I still, him not having any parts in my life, I could count on one hand the times I saw or went around my dad. Right? I can count on 2 to 3 fingers the gifts I received from my father. And he did not pass until I was in my son was born. So I was in my 30s. So my entire life, 3 gifts I remember getting from my dad. And I didn't get them from him handing them to me. I got them from his sister, giving them, saying they were from him, which that's neither here nor there. She probably bought them and said it, which I appreciate that, but you get what I'm saying. But yet I still to this day, when I think of him, Eugene Maxwell, I love that man because that was my dad. And I'm getting emotional, so I'm gonna cut on some music right here, because I ain't no punk. I don't cry. Take a little break, because I got some more to say. But my mom never talked against my dad, right? So I have nothing in my heart but my thoughts and what I wanted which was to have him in my life, to be a part of his life, right? And to be loved by him. And that's every child's desire. So when you have kids, and when I see kids and they don't want to go with the other parent, they saying stuff, it is not that kid. You will not be ever be able to pay me to think that belief came from that child. That is all you, mama. That is all you, dad. That's all you, parent, or whoever guardian that raised that child, who's trying to put your belief, your thoughts about that parent in that child against that other parent. Now, this is my podcast, so I'm going to applaud that one. Because I worked 24 years in a career. Los Angeles Superior Court saw many, many cases. The parent could have downright, literally abused the child. That child was pulled out the home, put in a home with total strangers. Court day came. I don't care what that parent did or didn't do for or to that child. Soon as that kid walked in that door, that child ran straight to the parent. Mom, Dad, I love you. You would have thought they were, once again, mother, father of the year. Why? Because the guardian or person who is over them is not brainwashing them, putting beliefs in them against their parent. Because love, remember, we said at the beginning of this podcast, we were created out of love. We were created from love. Our creator is love, and it's in every child. The only reason a child will grow up with hate in their heart against another parent is because the other person or whoever is raising them has put that in them. And I will drink on that one, because I've seen it and I know. I got brothers, I got uncles, I got cousins. I done had 2 husbands. Lord, I done had 2 husbands. That's okay, because I ain't dead yet, so I might have another one now. Yeah, I said it. Because love is a beautiful thing. And shout out to the man who I know and who I was raised with as my father. The reason I have a last name to this day. The reason I hold his last name dear to my heart. I love you, Pops. He been married more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. And I love that man forever. Right? He ain't let that stop him. And it don't make him less of a man. And it don't make the women that he was with less of women. Everybody has choices in life. So I don't look down on myself at all. I was placed in the right people's lives to be who I am, and for God to show me different ways of thinking. Because you got some women who, after one marriage gone wrong, they look at themselves like they are less than. They look at themselves like they are a failure. Lady, you are not no failure. Girl, dust yourself off. That divorce don't define you. And I'm getting bold. Look, I feel it now. I'm going to start speaking on this stuff. Shoot. You got to be confident in who you are. A man don't make or break you. Look, because I am not in a home with a man at this point in time, married, right? Legally, you may be still married because the paperwork, it takes a while. But when you leave, you are gone. You have no desire to go back. You are done, right? You are no longer in a relationship with a person. That does not change who you are. I am still a wife. A man does not make me a wife. My character makes me a wife. It says in the Bible, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor, which means those wives are wives before they are found. Woo, y'all better shout on that one. Oh, I done did a jig on that one. I had to go old school church shouting on that one. You don't become a wife just because you done stood at an altar in a white dress or black dress or blue dress or on the ocean with 10 bridesmaids and a flower girl, and now all of a sudden you are. No, because how many women have done that and they are not wives? Legally, they are, but if the character and the traits are not in them, every woman is not wife material. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some women is just innate. Some women are not mothers material. Some women are not nurturers. Perfect example. I have a really good friend. Shout out to my girl Delta. She know who she is. I met her right before my son was born. She crazy as cray cray can be, y'all. That's my girl. She is a real deal. She is 100 for real. I love her. But she was probably the only person outside of my grandmother and my grandfather that I allowed in the room with me when I had my son. She came to visit and she was almost in tears, y'all. You would have thought we was blood relatives or had been knowing each other for years. But I just always loved her spirit. Didn't understand her all the time. We had our times, but that's my girl. But she told me, she watched me, and she was looking at me dealing with my son when he was in the hospital. And she said, girl, she said, you are a mother. She said, even said it took her a minute in certain instances when, changing diapers and feedings and stuff like that. But me, it just clicked, right? And it never been a desire of mine to be a mother until I knew I was about to have my son. I can't even explain it in words, but I knew it was time. And I started making preparations because before my son was born, yes, I was on me and his dad. I think we were together a year before my son was born. No, 2 years. We got married in 2006. My son was born in 2008. Yeah. So we were together 2 years. So I had started birth control because I didn't want no kids right away. I had never been out of my parents' home, the controlled environment. So I wanted to live and, be with a man, live a life in a relationship because I had never really had one. So, we, lived. I enjoyed the pleasures of sex and stuff without children at that time, right? But then it became the point where I felt it on me that it was time to give birth. And so I stopped taking the pills. I started, preparing my mind, preparing myself because I wasn't ready. I ain't gonna lie. Cause I was still like, oh Lord, Lord, Lord. If at all possible, let this cup pass. Nevertheless, not my will. But let me tell you, I know, and I will always say, and I always said, my grandmother said it before she passed, my son had to be born. And yes, I'm getting emotional. That boy has been a joy in everybody's life. Everyone. He is an angel. I love my son, y'all. I'm sorry. We're going to take a break. And then then I'm gonna put on one of the saddest songs. That didn't help.